Caitlin, what time are you coming home? You haven't done the chores since morning. How many hours do you think it's been already? I need you to come home early and do the housework. I'm sorry, Sabrina. I'm going to stop by at the supermarket and go home. Then get some bread and some chips and beer for Donnie. You're driving, so there's no problem, right? Yes, I'm fine. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling better? Yes, I'm fine. At first, I was happy that my son's wife was going to move in with us, but you get sick easily and you're not very attentive. I feel like I shouldn't have lived with you. You even skip housework like this because you're sick. I'm sorry. At least I hope you do your duty as a wife. I guess it'll take time until I see my grandchildren. Actually, about that, what? Don't tell me you can't have a baby because you're too frail. No, I'm pregnant. Huh? You're pregnant? You're really pregnant. You're going to have a baby? Yes, I'm actually in my 3rd month. Hey, why didn't you tell me? So you went to the OB gym today? Yes, that's right. I was actually going to tell you when I'm in the stable period, but I've been feeling worse than expected. So I thought I might cause you trouble in the near future, so I wanted to tell you about it. We live together, so I'll find out before the stable period anyway. If you were pregnant, I would have told you to come home early. So is it a boy? A girl? Which one? We don't know yet. Right, you're still in the 3rd month, then you won't know yet. But I'm glad to hear that. We have to celebrate to have our first grandchild. Thank you very much. Let's have a gorgeous dinner tonight. I have to tell Donnie and about our celebration. Then get some beef and champagne at the store too. Okay, will do. You're going to be busy from now on. When you find out if it's a boy or a girl, let me know right away. Okay then, I'll be home soon as possible. No problem. Drive safely. We don't want you to get into an accident. Thank you very much. I'll drive safely. Caitlin, please finish cleaning the house before I come back and take out the weeds in the garden. Okay. But I'm sorry, Sabrina. I'm a little dizzy today. It might take me a little longer. You're not exercising enough, are you? I told you to get some stamina to have a baby. Maybe it's because I'm pregnant and my hormones are out of balance. You're not mentally strong enough. You're a mother now. You need to be stronger than before. I'm sorry. I came all the way here to pray for a healthy baby. But if you're like that, even God will be annoyed. And my daughter is having twins, so she's having more difficulty than you. Don't tell me how hard it is to carry one in your belly. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not blaming you or anything. It's just that when you feel a little sick, you rest and lie down, don't you? I think that's a bad habit. When you become a mother, you have to do housework even when you're sick. You need to realize that you're a mother now. I understand. By the way, not only you but my daughter is pregnant at the same time. I'm so busy. You also have to come to pray before the baby is born. So far, you are the only one who is going to have a baby boy. So you need to make sure you're in a good health. I'll do my best, but I'll raise my child even if he's not healthy enough. You may think so, but I don't. My son's genes are in him, so I think he'll be fine. But I don't want a child as frail as you. Don't say such a bad thing before the baby is born. It's bad luck. I'm sorry. I'd better get back to my chores. Oh, you mean you don't want to hear from me? No, it's not that. It's just my chores are running late, and I don't want to bother you anymore. Then do exactly what you've been told before I get back. Pregnancy isn't a disease. Don't make excuses. Just get moving. Sabrina, I'm done with my checkup. I'm going home now. So, how's the baby? Is everything alright? Yes, everything is fine. That's good to know. I have to tell you something. My daughter is coming back home to have babies, so you have to live here for a while. What? I'm pregnant too. Of course my daughter comes first. It's okay. Why don't you go back to your parents' house too? You told me to have the baby here, so I haven't done anything about hospital procedures there. You still have 3 months until the due date. It's not too late. You should be out by the end of the month. In the meantime, find a local hospital around your house. Okay. Is something wrong? No, I'm just a little surprised because I wasn't thinking about moving back home. I mean, you could have seen this coming since you got pregnant with my daughter at the same time. And she's having twins. She needs a lot more care than you do. Right. Well, I'll let my parents know that I'm going home. Please do so. She'll stay here for a while after the baby is born, so yeah, you don't have to come back for half of the year or so. Understood. But it's good for you. Your parents will be happy, right? After all, parents will love the baby from their own daughter the most. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said this to my daughter-in-law. No, it's okay. Well, it's still better that you're going to have a boy. If it had been a girl, I'd have been fine with just having my daughter's babies. Well, your son is going to take over our family. But don't get too lazy just because you're back home, okay? You need to have stamina to raise a boy. Even if I don't keep an eye on you, you have to exercise every day. Yes, I will. Well, that's that then. You should get ready to leave home as soon as possible. Caitlin, how long are you going to stay at your parents' house? How long do you think it's been since you left here? It's been a while, Sabrina. I think it's been about 6 months since I left your place. If you know what I'm talking about, then come back immediately. You've already had a child. I'd like to meet my grandson. Of course, my daughter's twins are cute, but their face, it's a shame they look a bit like her husband's mother. The one you had looks just like my son, so I'm relieved. I see, but I have no intention of going back to your place. What? What are you talking about? You're still poor being a housemaker. I still have to teach you to do the housework. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's not your decision to make. I assume you've been spoiled back home. My husband and your husband both agree that I don't have to go back. Excuse me, what do you mean? I've already started a new life in my new home. Since you asked me to move out of the house, my husband and I have been looking for a new place to live. In other words, we moved to a new house. You moved? Are you kidding me? Your stuff is still in our house, isn't it? Have you opened the closets and drawers? We finished moving all the big stuff when you were out of town. You let us use the furniture that was there originally, so you didn't even notice. So was it a lie that my son was commuting to work from your parents' house because he wanted to see his child? You guys have a new house, so he was going home to that place? Yes, Donnie and my husband both warned you a lot, didn't they? The sarcasm towards me after we moved in together, and the way you forced me to do things after I got pregnant. Did you forget them? I was telling all kinds of things for you. Even you followed me. I I did argue with you at first. Of course, I might not have said them directly, but I had no choice, right? We had just started living together, and I wanted to get along with you. But the way you treated me was so unreasonable that it has reached to my limit. So I'm not going to stay like that anymore. Your child is the one who's going to take over the family. Just come back. You have a lot to do. No, there's nothing to do in that house. Please forget about us and worry about your own life. What? We're breaking off our relationship, Sabrina. Break off the relationship? I won't allow you to do such a selfish thing. I see, but what do you mean you won't allow it? Is there anything in particular that you can do? I won't even celebrate your child or help him in the future. I'll only adore my daughter's children. We're fine with that. Because that's what we meant. But we're going to keep in touch with Donnie. Please understand that. I'm not going to give you have anything to do with my husband either. I don't think you can stop him. He also couldn't forgive your attitude, which is why he helped us. And your daughter Ali, she said she never wants you to be involved in taking care of her twins ever again. What the? Do you have any idea how much I work for my daughter? You made her breastfeed her children no matter what, and not only making her take care of the twins, but you also make her do the housework right after the birth, didn't you? Of course, she said she was angry and refused you, and regret going back to your house. That's why she returned to her own home earlier than she planned, right? After the birth, her hormones were out of balance, so we had a bit of argument, that's all. But people don't forget what it was like to be trapped in the most difficult time. Even you told her that. The twins weren't pretty in front of her, right? That's not something you should say in front of a mother who worked so hard to give birth. It just slipped my mind. Caitlin, are you really not going to come back home? No, I already have a home to go back to. I was really looking forward to see a grandson, you know. I've been nagging you a lot of things. Or leave the household to you because I wanted you to do your best as a mother. I don't know if you should ask for them even when I'm not feeling well. Pregnancy may not be a disease, but it's about the same. Besides, the condition during pregnancy depends on people. I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't tell me you're not coming back. We're already moved in. We can't. And I'm not going to live with you again just because you apologized. I don't want to live with you. I mean, you're the one who asked me to leave in the first place. I only asked you to move back to your hometown. At first, you told me not to go back to my hometown and have the baby there, right? So I didn't prepare to go back home. And then all of a sudden I was told to get out of the house, you remember? Finding a hospital was difficult. Even if I found a good hospital, I couldn't stay there if it was overcrowded. You forced Ali to come back home too, right? That's because I wanted to be there for my daughter. If that's the case, please tell me to go home from the beginning. We've all had trouble because of you. I completely forgot that you weren't going home. I only realized it when my daughter told me, and that's why I have to tell you on such short notice. No more excuses. I'm not going to see you again. Then I won't get to see my grandson. Who is going to take over my family? Please don't call me like that either. He's a normal child born to my husband and me. Boy or girl, I don't want you to say anything about it. It makes me feel very annoying. Kaylin, I'm so sorry. From now on, I'll try to be careful what I say as much as possible. And I won't ask you to do anything unreasonable or to do housework. You don't have to live with me, but please don't cut me off. I've already made my decision and I won't change my mind. And you made me feel uncomfortable by making me move in with you. It was you who kicked me out of the house. Please don't make excuses and admit it, okay? Later on, I blocked Sabrina. I feel better now that I have told her everything I wanted to say. She texted my husband several times to apologize. He has always been dissatisfied with the way she treated me. Anyway, we were planning to not live with her anymore, so there's no way we can forgive her. Since then, she has been treated coldly by my sister-in-law Ali, which means Sabrina has not been able to see her grandchildren at all. My father-in-law is the only one who can see his grandchildren, so he looks at the picture he took of them. It seems she's feeling sorry, but I don't think I will ever see her again. I'm not going to keep my distance from her until my child wants to see her. And since we moved, I have been able to have and raise my child with no stress. After all, my parents came to our new house instead of we going back to my hometown. And they helped me a lot with housework and taking care of my child. I am frail, so I'm sure I will continue to cause trouble to people around me. But I will do what I can do by myself as much as I can and continue to make efforts every day to be as healthy as possible. I will always remember to be grateful to the kind people around me who support me and continue to make a happy home with my husband.
Your ex-husband, who's my husband now, got promoted even more. I heard the rumor. He became a professor at a university hospital 2 years ago, right? I thought you'd be more surprised. Whatever. It's been a while, but you're this blunt? Aren't you still upset about what happened 5 years ago? I'm busy. Are you done? What do you mean you're busy? You're so incompetent that you quit a simple job just to hand out medicine. You need a national license to become a pharmacist. It's not an easy job. I can handle that kind of thing. I mean, whose fault is it that I quit my job? When I told Toby that you were having an affair, he believed me and shared about it in the hospital, didn't he? I heard he did it to get sympathy from everyone. Because of that, people started giving me a cold look and I had to quit. I'm sorry to hear that. I never cheated on him in the first place. Why did you lie to him? It's true that you were with a guy, isn't it? I have photos to prove it. The photos you showed him are from when I was a student, right? I was walking around the town and I happened to see you walking with an old guy. So I heard to take a picture of you two. The guy I was with was a customer from my club. I was just accompanying him to dinner. You were a stripper, weren't you? Yeah, to earn money for the college tuition. Dad said he wouldn't pay a penny, so I worked hard. You weren't succeeding in your job, were you? I've been a stripper once, but I've never seen a person as ugly as you there. I don't care about that. You've made up a fake story and never apologized. How dare you? Then why don't you just explain to Toby that it was a fake story? I didn't tell him that I used to work at a stripper club. So he said he couldn't believe the information I gave him after what he has heard. He won't listen to me. Wow, he doesn't trust you at all. But fortunately, he didn't ask you to take any responsibility regarding this divorce, even though you cheated. Such a nice guy. He did tell me that he won't share the property. Oh, so he took everything? You're really miserable. Neither Toby nor my coworkers believe me. Even Dad took your side. Under those circumstances, I didn't have any energy left to argue about the money. Ugly people are so sad that they can't be trusted. On the other hand, I'm beautiful, so I was able to marry Toby. and live happily ever after. There's nothing more than having a good face. Can I go now? Talking to you makes me remember the past, and I feel depressed. Wait a minute. I didn't text you to talk about the past like this. I actually had something important to tell you. What is it? Did you hear that Dad got sick? 5 years ago. You remember what happened. Since then, we haven't been in touch, so I haven't heard anything. He has some kind of brain disease. He will need nursing care. Oh, that's why I'm asking you to take care of him. What? I have a lot of duties as a doctor's wife. I can't take care of him. You're a housewife. You don't have a job. First of all, Dad loved you too much. Why don't you return the favor? That's what Mom is telling me too, and I'm in trouble. She's asking me to take care of him since he treated me so well. She's demanding things that don't make sense. What's the problem? If you don't want to do it yourself, why don't you talk to Toby about it and think of hiring a caregiver or something? It's a waste of money spending on parents. Wow, you're a heartless person. So are you. When we were young, I was compared to you every day. Mom and Dad even told me that they didn't want to spend money on an ugly girl. I don't want to take care of a person like that. What? You were loved by them, and they paid for all of your tuition. They even paid your living expenses until you married Toby. They have done a lot. That's something they did on their own, right? And now you guys are asking me to return the favor? Don't you think that's a bit arrogant? Don't force me to do it. I'm busy at work. I don't have time to take care of Dad anyways. You're working? You thought I've been unemployed for 5 years without finding a new job? Since you're incompetent, I thought you were homeless or something. No, of course not. But it doesn't sound like it's a big job. You didn't go to a college and ended up getting a job, which was to do a simple task like handing out pills. I've told you many times, it's not easy. It's a job, you need knowledge. Don't show off yourself. Alright, I'll leave you to take care of Dad. I'm counting on you. I told you I can't. I'm Katie. I'm 34 years old and I got divorced once. My sister, Stephanie, who is 4 years older than me, received extravagant love from our parents. So, she grew up to be selfish. She has always been a jerk and looked down on me. I hated my family and wanted to be independent as soon as possible. I spent my school days studying hard and became a qualified pharmacist. And then, I got a job at a university hospital. There, I met and married my ex-husband, Toby, who is a doctor. But I made a mistake of introducing him to my parents and sister. My sister must have liked him. She wanted him to leave me. So she tricked him with a fake story, and as a result, we divorced. She married Toby without any shame, and I was thrown into the depths of unhappiness. Now that 5 years have passed, I have calmed down. My work was going well, and I had almost forgotten about my family. So I was surprised to receive a message from my sister. Although I was a little worried about my dad, I still could not forgive my family. So I refused to take care of him. But my sister would not listen to me and tried to threaten my peace in an unbelievable way. I can't believe you work for a popular cosmetics company. Well, I'm sure it's not a big job anyway. What? How did you know? I asked you to take care of Dad, but I heard you haven't been home. I said no. I had no choice but to have a private investigation find out where you work. Why would you do that? I'm getting so tired of hearing from Mom. If you don't go home soon, I'll be in real trouble. Then do something about it. She's asking you to do it, right? No, I can't. I won't take care of him even if you say so. I'll spread bad rumors and make you unemployed like I did before. Excuse me? Let's say the reason you got divorced is because you cheated on him. I'm sure if people at your current workplace find out, you'll have a hard time staying there. That's why you identified my workplace. If you don't want to lose your job again, you'd better listen to me. You know me well. See ya. I just got home. You finally gave up, huh? Well, take good care of him. I'm not taking care of him. What? I just came home today to talk to Mom. You've got to be kidding me. If you don't take care of him, I'll tell about the affair to your people at work. I told them about your threats, so they won't have a problem. You know I have pictures, right? I don't think they'll believe you when I tell them. Those pictures are from the days you were a stripper. They already know I used to be a stripper. You bitch! Don't think you're smart just because you got a head start. I'll make sure you'll be the one to take care of him. I'm moving overseas, so I can't take care of him anyways. Huh? I'm going to work overseas. You're lying, right? It's true. To be honest, I live a better life than you. Don't show yourself off. Toby made over $100,000 this year. There's no way you have a better life than me. That's less than my monthly income. What do you mean? I'm the president of the cosmetics company. By the way, my annual turnover is over $15 million. What? If you checked with the private investigation, couldn't you find out about that as well? It costs a lot of money to do a very detailed investigation, so I could only do a quick check. So you didn't know I was the president. But how did you get to be the president of a popular cosmetics company? I used my knowledge of pharmacology to develop skin-friendly cosmetics, and it went viral. How could it be? There are products that can be used by people with allergies. The medical industry is paying attention to it, and there are even people overseas who use it. But how did you start your own business? You were kicked out after the divorce with no money. He didn't share the property, but I still had my savings. Plus, I had a friend who was willing to invest in the company. So the whole thing went smoothly. You knew someone like that? He's the guy in the picture that you have. This old man? He liked me since I was a stripper. He runs a medical equipment company. And he agreed with what I wanted to do and even invested in me. How can you be friends with someone like that? I was the most popular girl at the club in New York, you know? No way! You're ugly! People tend to think that in a club, the most beautiful person will become the best. But if you have good performance, you don't have to be very pretty to be the best. I don't understand. You don't have a bad face, but your skill was poor. And you've always been an unpopular stripper, right? How did you know that? I heard rumors about when you were a stripper. You never remembered your customers' faces and only talked about yourself. You never got chosen by anyone. That's... As a result, you were almost getting in your 30s and didn't even make it as a stripper. So, you took Toby away from me and got married, hoping to get rich. This was your plan, correct? Dad's retirement was coming up, so I thought I had to get married soon. Toby was a doctor and had a good income. Oh boy, and when you were a stripper, you bought expensive clothes and jewelry, even though you couldn't afford them, so you've borrowed money, right? You even know about the debt? Mom told me. It seems like you borrowed $10,000 under Dad's name. Well, yes, but it's been almost 5 years since I borrowed the money, and you should have cleared the balance at this point. He hasn't paid a penny. Why not? Don't you remember asking him to pay for now, because once you marry a rich guy, you'll pay him back fully? I do remember that, so that's why he should have paid on my behalf, right? But you got married to Toby right after you borrowed the money, so Dad thought you became rich already, and you were going to pay back the debt, so that's why he didn't pay at all. I never heard about that. I mean, don't they usually send you reminders if you're behind on payments? I heard they did, but Mom and Dad said that you were the guarantor, so they thought the same letter should have been sent to you as well. That's why they ignored it. What? Moreover, I checked the mail at our house today and found a complaint from the court. Does that mean I'm going to court? You've been ignoring this debt for so long. Of course you're going to court. Give me a break. You and Dad are so stupid. I'm ashamed to be related to you by blood. It's a little hard to pay $10,000 out of nowhere. Including delayed interest, it's almost double the amount. That much? That's how much you'd have to pay if you left it for almost 5 years. You deserve it. You should help me. You're my family. Even for family, the law says I can refuse to cover your debts, which means I won't help you. Then I'll refuse too. The debt is under Dad's name. You're the guarantor, aren't you? If that's the case, you're legally obligated to take over the debt. Okay, fine. I'll talk to Toby. He makes $100,000 a year, so I can manage. I don't know if you can count on that income from now on. Huh? What do you mean? I just overheard something. Hobby seems to be sued for medical issues. No way! Is he going to jail? I don't think it will go that far. The patient seems to have after effect. He might be fined and suspended from medical practice. Does that mean he can't be a doctor anymore? I guess so. Why now? Damn! He wasn't very skilled as a doctor. Why did you marry such a man? He was very good with people. Everyone around him liked him. That's why I married him. I never imagined we'd part ways like this, though. I thought he was nice and good at talking too, but... Well, because of his good character, when you spread the fake story, everyone was on his side, and that hurt me a lot. But he hasn't made any mistakes until now, right? It's been 2 years since he got promoted. How can he make a medical mistake now? It is definitely some kind of mistake. Everyone liked him, so until now, he had some supports from them, which didn't make cases a big deal. Then why didn't they help him this time? When you become a professor, you won't have much support from others. When I heard about his promotion, I thought he might make a mistake soon, but I didn't expect it to be this big. Isn't it also important for a doctor to have good technique when they get promoted? Technique is important, but it also depends on relationships and luck, to be honest. He just happened to get promoted by luck, I guess. Oh God. But I'm glad we got divorced before anything serious happened. I guess I have you to thank for that. Once again, thank you. I'm sorry for everything, I'm sorry. So please help me. You're changing your attitude now? I don't have anyone I can rely on. My in-laws hate me too. Why do they hate you? They seem to like you. They couldn't forgive me for making you divorce and remarrying him without your permission. I thought I didn't have anyone on my side at that time, but Toby's father and mother trusted me. I feel a little better now. If I don't do anything, I won't be able to pay the rent for the house. I'll have to move out. I'll do whatever you say, so just help me. Then why don't you live with our parents? We own the house, so you won't have to pay the rent, right? Then I'd have to take care of Dad. You're a housewife. You do have the time, right? You can try. Please, at least give me some money. I can't help you. Well then, I'm busy. Now if you excuse me, goodbye. Hobby was later ordered to stop his medical practice and fined due to the medical accident. In addition, he had to repay Stephanie's debt, and his savings were almost gone. They were forced to live with our parents due to difficulties in making a living. Mom had been a housewife like my sister for many years, so she was selfish, and she said she did not want to take care of Dad either. Hobby managed to find a job and started working, but his income was less than half of what it had been before. Plus, my sister started working a part-time job, but due to her bad character, she kept getting into trouble and had to move from job to job, which means her income was not stable. She was also busy taking care of Dad. As for me, I am happy with my job overseas. It was a long road, but my sister, parents, and ex-husband have been punished, so I feel much better now.